it's Jennifer from Sea Lemon. Today I will show you how to make a French link stitch bookbinding. This binding may look complex with the crisscross or X kind of pattern, but I actually think it's one of the easier stitches once you get the hang of it. This is a beginner-friendly tutorial, so I will take you through it step by step, and feel free to adjust the materials and the measurements to make your own version of this book. While researching this method, I did come across some helpful posts and YouTube videos, so if you're looking for even more inspiration, check out the links below. You can also find links to the supplies I use along with the timestamps in case you want to just skip right to the binding portion. All of those links are in the description. Let's get into it. For my pages, I'm using 30 sheets of letter size paper and 2 sheets of double-sided cardstock for the front and back cover. I folded the cardstock in half, and because I can't leave a book cover blank, I doodled some strawberries with some Posca pens on the cover. So these 2 folded sheets of cardstock will be my book covers, and for the pages, I'm folding 3 sheets in half to make 1 signature. Usually I fold 4 sheets to make 1 signature, but this paper is a little bit thick, so I'm just folding 3, and honestly, the amount of paper you put into 1 signature is totally up to your preference. So all my pages are folded like this and stacked together in groups of 3 to make 10 signatures total. For the spacing of the binding holes, I decided to go with 3 sections of a French link stitch, so my hole measurements turned out to be this. And again, you don't have to do what I'm doing, you are free to rearrange these measurements. To pierce these holes through each signature, I'm using this binding guide, which I did cover in a previous video. You can check it out up here if you're curious about this tool. And to make my life easier, I use a marker to mark where I want to pierce through the holes, and then I wipe it off when I'm done. You can also mark the binding holes on each signature and pierce through with a thumbtack or an awl. I pierced through the cardstock covers in all 10 signatures. And now my book is ready for binding. I'm using a red binding thread on this one, and to estimate how much to use, I string it along the length of my book for as many times as I have signatures. To make the thread easier to work with, I like to run it across a piece of beeswax. Then thread the binding needle. I'm using a curved one, but you can also use a straight one, and start binding on the outside of your first signature, or in my case, it's the cover. Pull the thread to the inside, leaving a tail on the outside, and return the needle through the next hole. Continue weaving through until you get to the last hole, and bring on a new signature. Going to the inside, and back to the outside of the signature. Now to make our first French link stitch, go behind the line of thread you made on the previous signature and return through the next hole. So that thread is linking underneath the previous one. Going through the next one, and this is another French link stitch, so I'm going to do the same thing. And on to the next one, doing that same step. When you reach the last hole, you're going to tie a knot on that tail of thread you left. If you're case binding these pages or covering it up, you could just leave the thread on the outside since you're going to put glue on it anyway. Or if you're doing an exposed binding like I am and you don't want any loose threads on the outside, you can hide this extra piece of thread on the inside of the signature by putting a needle on the end of it and pulling it through the nearest binding hole. And you want to pull it all the way through until you feel the knot pull to the inside of the signature. You can then remove that needle and trim off any excess thread, and you can tuck it under the nearest thread so it doesn't stick out. Now onto the outside, we're going to continue the binding onto a new signature. Pull the thread through to the inside and then return back to the outside. And to continue the French link stitch, link underneath the previous thread and return through the next hole. So as you bind and pull the thread up, you can see that French link stitch pattern start to form. Continue that process through the next French link stitch areas. And if you forget which side to go underneath, I always remember that it's underneath the next binding hole. Now the end sections are technically called a kettle stitch. Usually I go behind the previous stitch and then return through a new signature. Or if you want to do a more traditional kettle stitch, go behind that stitch you just made and then go on to the new signature. In my older videos, I did it the non-traditional way, but I wanted to show you both because I actually like the traditional version on this style of binding. Now moving on to the new signature and repeating those same French link steps on those sections. Linking underneath that previous line of thread and returning the needle back into the signature. Always looping under the side that is near the next binding hole. When you reach the end, do another kettle stitch. Going behind the previous stitch, and if you're doing a traditional style, go back behind the stitch you just made and return the needle through to a new signature. And continue on binding the French link sections. Because I have 10 signatures, I had a lot of thread to work with. That also makes it hard to work with, it tangles. So if you want to start out with less thread so it's easier to work with, or you happen to run out while you bind, you can tie on a new line of thread onto the old one on the inside of the signature. Or if you're covering your binding anyway, you can tie it on the outside. Tie the ends in a square knot and trim off any excess thread, and then you can continue on binding with the new line of thread. When you reach the last signature, or in my case, the cover, continue on binding as usual, making a kettle stitch and then a French link stitch. When you reach your last kettle stitch, if you want to, you can tie off in a knot and leave the end on the outside of your book if you're gluing it anyway, or if you're doing an exposed binding, you can pull the thread back through to the inside of the signature or cover and tie a knot on the nearest thread on the inside. Tuck it underneath if you want to and trim off the excess. And here is my strawberry doodled French link stitch book. I like that the binding doesn't feel too loose and it allows the pages to lay completely flat. And from here, if you want to make this book a hardcover, you can actually glue the board directly onto these end pages, leaving the binding exposed. You can also play with the stitching pattern and combine the French link with different stitches. With this one, I combined it with a Coptic stitch. You can check out the tutorial up here and down below. I've also seen books where the French link stitch is bound around strips of fabric or ribbon. Usually the ends of those strips are glued to the end page and then a cover board is glued on top of that. Or you can add glue to the spine to make this a text block for case binding. Usually I would use a kettle stitch for this process, but a French link stitch works as well. I actually really like the pattern of the French link, so I like it exposed, but let me know what you think. Let me know what you would try with this binding. If you make this, I would love to see pictures of your books, so share it with a #CLemon on my social links. I recently made my fruit art into art print postcards and stickers for my patrons. For the rest of the year, my Limited Lemon patrons are getting a combo of these in the mail. If you're interested in that, check out the link in the description below. It's one way to help support my channel, which allows me to make more nerdy bookbinding videos like this one. You can also check out other membership and Patreon tiers in those links. Another way you can support my channel is hitting that subscribe button and hit that bell right next to it so you get notified every time I post a new video. Also, it helps if you give this video a big thumbs up. More bookbinding methods are in this playlist for your viewing pleasure. Again, all of these links are down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!